13 Worst Habits. Destroying Young Adults' Kidneys. Number 2 might shock you. Part 1. The lifestyle you think is healthy might actually be shocking your kidneys. Right now, 1 in 7 adults has kidney disease, and 9 out of 10 don't even know it. Their kidneys are quietly failing while they're busy living their lives, making choices that feel completely normal. That morning coffee or healthy protein shake? Your favorite chicken soup? Holding it in during a 3-hour lecture or an important meeting? Each decision chips away at kidney function, and by the time symptoms appear, up to 90% of the damage is already done. We're watching an entire generation unknowingly destroy their kidneys through habits so common, so accepted, and even celebrated in our culture that people fail to recognize their harm. The good news? Every single one of these habits is preventable. Today, we're exposing 13 habits that are stealing kidney function from an entire generation. Once you see them for what they really are, kidney destroyers disguised as normal living, you can't unsee them. We'll reveal them all because your kidneys or your child's kidneys are worth fighting for. This video might seem long at first, but we've tried our best to make every minute worth your time because your kidneys are incredibly complicated organs that require thorough understanding. Just so you know, everything in this video is carefully researched and put together by real people, double-checked by actual experts, and kept bias-free. 1. Excessive exercise. The irony is crushing. The generation that's most health-conscious in history is accidentally damaging one of their most vital organs in pursuit of the perfect physique. Social media has turned exercise into performance art, where every workout needs to be more extreme than the last. No pain, no gains, some scream between burpees of a brutal HIIT session. If they can do 500 squats, so can you, right? Wrong. Dead wrong. Here's what those perfectly filtered workout videos don't show you. The hospital trips. Because when people decide to go hard, they really go hard. And sometimes, their kidneys pay the ultimate price. A 2022 study published by the Sport Journal found that while moderate exercise actually protects your kidneys, strenuous exercise, especially when you're dehydrated or it's hot outside, can cause sudden kidney damage and potentially lead to complete kidney failure. The researchers weren't talking about elite athletes here. They were talking about regular people who simply didn't know when to stop. The medical term is rhabdomyolysis, but let's call it what it is. Your muscles literally breaking down and poisoning your kidneys. When you push your body beyond its limits, muscle cells explode like tiny grenades, releasing a protein called myoglobin into your bloodstream. This protein clogs up your kidney's filtration system like hair in a shower drain, but infinitely more dangerous. Factors that increase the risk of rhabdomyolysis include certain muscle conditions, dehydration, use of pain relievers like non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, or NSAIDs for short, heavy drinking, hot weather, and how hard you exercise. Here's the plot twist that nobody talks about. You don't need to be deadlifting twice your body weight to trigger this nightmare. Medical literature is filled with cases of young, healthy adults developing severe rhabdomyolysis from seemingly innocent activities. We're talking about someone in their early 20s ending up on dialysis after their first spinning class, or needing hemodialysis after doing intense aerobic exercise. Your body actually gives you warning signals, but they're easy to miss when you're high on endorphins and social media validation. If exercise feels impossibly hard, if you can't hold a conversation because you're breathing so heavily, if your heart feels like it's trying to escape your chest, or if you're not recovering within an hour, that's your body, and possibly your kidneys, desperately trying to get your attention. When your muscles start aching in ways that feel different from normal soreness, when your urine looks darker than usual, when you feel more exhausted than energized, listen. Here's what actually works. Progression that doesn't make for good content, but keeps your kidneys happy. It's smart to use fitness apps to track your intensity instead of just grinding blindly. Stay hydrated like your life depends on it, because sometimes it literally does. If you experience lightheadedness, chest tightness, pain, or can't catch your breath while exercising, stop your activity immediately and consult your health practitioner before resuming. And here's the reality check nobody wants to hear. Some of the most effective workouts look boring on camera. Consistent, moderate exercise will always trump sporadic, extreme sessions that leave you questioning your life choices and potentially your kidney function. But here's something that might shock you more than rhabdomyolysis. The healthy food choices everyone celebrates could be even more destructive to your kidneys. 2. High animal protein intake. We're living in the golden age of protein obsession. Gym bros chug way like it's water. Fitness girls document their high-protein, low-carb meal preps, as it's said to help with weight loss and blood sugar control. Many people are calculating macros like they're training for the Olympics. Meal prep containers have become monuments to chicken breast and egg whites. The mantra is simple: more protein equals better body, better health, better life. But here's the plot twist nobody saw coming. The protein you're consuming might be slowly destroying your kidneys. The recommended protein intake to protect your kidneys is no more than 1 gram per kilogram of ideal body weight for those doing light exercise. That's your healthy weight based on height, not whatever the scale says after a weekend of questionable decisions. Quick math. Take your height in meters, square it, multiply by 22. If someone's 5 feet 10 inches, or 178 centimeters, their ideal weight is around 70 kilograms, which means roughly 70 grams of protein daily. If you don't do any exercise, then you only need 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. But the typical high-protein diet that's trending on TikTok? We're talking 1.2 to 2 grams per kilogram. That might not sound like much, but to kidneys, it's the difference between a comfortable jog and an all-out sprint. And here's where it gets really interesting. Not all proteins are created equal. When you eat that tuna sandwich or grilled chicken, your kidneys quickly shift into overdrive. According to Nutrition Facts, research shows that within 3 hours of eating animal protein like tuna, your kidneys are working 36% harder than normal. But when you eat the same amount of protein from tofu, your kidneys barely register the difference. The culprit has a name that sounds like a sci-fi villain: TMAO, or trimethylamine N-oxide. When your body breaks down animal proteins, this compound is created that not only forces your kidneys to work overtime filtering it out, but actually damages the tiny filtering units inside your kidneys. It's like having a house guest who not only refuses to clean up after themselves, but actively trashes your place while they're staying. Plant proteins, on the other hand, are like the considerate friend who leaves your place better than they found it. Tofu, tempeh, lentils, and beans provide antioxidants and complete protein without producing TMAO, or the cocktail of other harmful byproducts that come with animal protein. But wait, there's more your favorite fitness influencer forgot to mention. Red meat, that Instagram-worthy steak you're grilling for your balanced meal prep, creates an acid load during digestion that's basically like forcing your kidneys to work in a hostile environment. Over time, this extra acidity doesn't just strain your kidneys. It can actually contribute to chronic kidney disease, or CKD for short, even in people who had perfectly healthy kidneys to begin with. A 2017 study found something that should make every protein-obsessed person pause. High intake of acid-producing red meat combined with low intake of base-producing plant proteins could cause kidney injury in otherwise healthy individuals. We're not talking about people with existing health problems. These were regular people whose kidneys were getting damaged simply from their healthy, high-protein diet choices. A 2024 study showed that people with kidney disease who switched to lower-protein diets reduced their proteinuria by 3 times and slowed their kidney function decline by 5 times. That's not a small improvement. That's the difference between potentially needing dialysis in your 50s versus maintaining healthy kidneys well into old age. The good news? You don't have to sacrifice your fitness goals to save your kidneys. You just need to be smarter about your protein sources. Those plant-based proteins that used to seem inferior, such as soy and legumes, are actually kidney superstars. They provide all the amino acids your muscles need without the toxic byproducts that trash your internal filtration system. Speaking of things you consume daily without question, that morning fuel everyone depends on is creating its own kidney crisis. 3. Excessive caffeine consumption. In a world where productivity is currency and sleep is a luxury, caffeine has become the fuel that keeps everything running. But here's the wake-up call nobody ordered. All that liquid motivation might be slowly frying the kidneys. At low to moderate doses, caffeine can actually be protective for healthy kidneys. But cross that line into excessive territory, anything above 400 milligrams daily, and the kidneys start working overtime in ways they definitely didn't sign up for. To put that in perspective, 400 milligrams sounds like a lot until you do the math. A grande Starbucks cold brew? That's 205 milligrams right there. Add a pre-workout supplement, typically 150 to 300 milligrams, and suddenly you're pushing dangerous territory before lunch. Throw in that afternoon can of Monster Energy, about 160 milligrams, and some dark chocolate for dessert. And the kidneys are basically screaming for mercy while one is still wondering why they feel so wired yet exhausted. The science behind this chaos is both fascinating and terrifying. Caffeine structurally mimics adenosine, a hormone that regulates blood flow in the kidneys. And when caffeine becomes a lifestyle rather than an occasional pick-me-up, the kidneys go into overworked mode. Some people carry a variant of the CYP1A2 gene called RS762551, which makes them more prone to kidney dysfunction when they consume too much caffeine. The diuretic effect adds another layer of complexity. Caffeine doesn't just make people urinate more, it specifically forces the kidneys to expel both water and essential electrolytes. In a 2007 study published in the Journal of Renal Nutrients, thoracic cancer patients consuming 386 milligrams or more of caffeine daily faced double the risk of acute kidney injury compared to those with lower intake. While these patients were already dealing with nephrotoxic chemotherapy, it's likely that excessive caffeine can push already stressed kidneys over the edge. Moreover, caffeine dependency creates a cycle that's harder to break than most people realize. Poor sleep from late-night caffeine leads to more caffeine the next day. Stress from work or school drives people toward higher doses. The crash that follows each caffeine high demands another hit. Young adults don't forget the hidden caffeine trap. That matcha latte? Caffeine. The dark chocolate stress eating session? More caffeine. Some headache medications? Surprise, even more caffeine. It's entirely possible to hit dangerous levels without ever setting foot in a Starbucks. The withdrawal reality is equally harsh. Cutting back on caffeine often triggers headaches, fatigue, and brain fog that can last for weeks. For a generation that's built their entire productivity system around chemical stimulation, the idea of functioning without caffeine feels like trying to run a smartphone on a potato battery. But here are the tips that might actually save some kidneys. There are ways to maintain energy and focus without turning the kidneys into overworked factory machines. Natural energy boosters like proper hydration, strategic fruit consumption, and short power naps can provide sustainable energy without the crash and burn cycle. While caffeine damages kidneys slowly, there's something that destroys them much faster, and it's wrapped in social celebration and weekend tradition. And hey, if this feels helpful so far, let us know you're out there by tapping that like button. It tells us to keep making content just like this. 4. Heavy alcohol consumption. It's Friday night, which means it's basically the weekend. Welcome to young adult drinking culture, where binge drinking has been rebranded as work hard, play hard. But while everyone's having the time of their life, there's something much more sinister happening inside. Your kidneys are basically getting hammered right along with you. Simply put, when alcohol floods the system, the kidneys can't filter out all the toxins fast enough. According to the National Kidney Foundation, excessive alcohol consumption literally doubles the risk of kidney disease, not increases it slightly, but doubles it. alcohol doesn't just overwhelm the kidneys directly. It launches an assault on multiple fronts. First, it spikes blood pressure, and high blood pressure is one of the leading causes of kidney damage. Then there's the dehydration factor, which is particularly brutal for a generation that's already chronically dehydrated. Alcohol doesn't just make people urinate more, it specifically disrupts the kidney's ability to regulate water and mineral balance. The liver-kidney connection adds another layer of damage. When the liver gets hammered by alcohol abuse, and let's be honest, the abuse threshold is lower than most people think, it affects blood flow to the kidneys and increases their workload exponentially. Binge drinking, which has become the default mode for many young adults, can create acute kidney injury through sudden spikes in blood alcohol levels. This isn't about becoming an alcoholic. This is about what happens during a single night of heavy drinking. Those kidney filters are getting damaged in real time while people are taking shots and posting stories. A 2019 study that followed over 45,000 adults for 8.5 years found that heavy drinking increases the risk of CKD by 15%. These weren't people with obvious alcohol problems. These were regular adults whose drinking habits gradually destroyed their kidney function over time. What makes this tough for young adults is the social aspect. Drinking isn't just about alcohol. It's about belonging, stress relief, celebration, and coping with the overwhelming pressure of modern life. The person who doesn't drink often becomes the odd one out, the boring one, the party killer. So people continue damaging their kidneys not just for the chemical effects, but for social survival. The cocktail culture makes things worse because it's designed to hide the alcohol content. Those multiple shots disguised as sweet, colorful refreshments? They're kidney destroyers in pretty packaging with cute umbrellas. The energy drink alcohol combination creates a double assault on the kidneys, high caffeine forcing them to work overtime while high alcohol levels poison the filtration system. Here are practical ways to protect your kidneys while still enjoying social occasions. Alternate each alcoholic drink with a full glass of water to help your kidneys process toxins and maintain hydration. Set a drink limit before going out and stick to it. Your future self will thank you. Choose drinks with lower alcohol content and avoid shots or doubles. Skip the energy drink mixers entirely. They amplify kidney stress. If you're drinking regularly, track your weekly intake honestly. The recommended limits are low. No more than 14 standard drinks per week for men, and no more than 7 for women, with at least 2 alcohol-free days. One standard drink equals 12 ounces of beer, which is 5% alcohol, 5 ounces of wine, about 12% alcohol, or 1 shot, that's 1.5 ounces, of spirits, which is about 40% alcohol. Many people underestimate because restaurant pours are often larger than standard sizes. Pay attention to warning signs like persistent fatigue, swelling around your ankles, or changes in urination patterns. For those with existing health conditions, medications, or family history of kidney disease, even moderate drinking can be risky. When in doubt, prioritize your long-term health over temporary social pressure. Some might think alcohol is the biggest nighttime threat to their kidneys. But what you do every single night, or don't do, could be just as damaging. 5. Insufficient sleep. It's 3 a.m. and the screen is still glowing. Just one more episode. One more scroll through TikTok. One more chapter. Sleep can wait. There's always tomorrow to catch up, right? But while the brain is busy consuming content, the kidneys are quietly sending distress signals that no one's bothering to decode. Your kidneys might just lose their most critical recovery window. During proper sleep, kidneys are supposed to regulate fluid balance, process the day's toxins, coordinate with hormonal systems to control blood pressure, and basically reset for tomorrow's chaos. When sleep gets cut short or disrupted, this entire restoration process breaks down. The science is alarming. A 2019 study published in the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine followed 194,039 participants over 18 years and found that people sleeping less than 4 hours had a 45% higher risk of CKD compared to those getting 6 to 8 hours. Even sleeping more than 8 hours increased risk by 12%, proving that both extremes can damage kidney function. Plus, sleep deprivation triggers your body's panic mode. The mechanism starts with the renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system, or RASS, the body's master regulator of blood pressure and fluid balance. Sleep disruption overactivates this system, causing blood pressure spikes that force kidneys to work in a constantly high-pressure environment. Normally, blood pressure dips during sleep, giving the cardiovascular system and kidneys essential recovery time. Poor sleep eliminates this protective dip, creating what doctors call non-dipping blood pressure patterns. Sleep deprivation also triggers inflammatory cytokines, proteins that promote inflammation throughout the body. Chronic inflammation directly damages the tiny filtering units in kidneys, accelerating the progression of kidney disease. Sleep apnea adds another dangerous layer. This condition, increasingly common among young adults due to lifestyle factors, causes repeated episodes of low oxygen levels throughout the night. Each oxygen drop stresses the kidneys, accelerating function decline over time. The relationship becomes even more complex because kidney disease itself disrupts sleep. People with CKD often develop restless leg syndrome, making it nearly impossible to get comfortable at night. As kidney function declines, toxins build up in the blood, causing sleep disturbances, mental fog, and a cycle where poor sleep accelerates kidney damage, which then makes sleep even worse. The connection extends beyond direct kidney effects. Chronic sleep deprivation increases the risk of obesity, type 2 diabetes, and hypertension, all major contributors to kidney disease. Poor sleep also triggers the body's fight or flight response, releasing stress hormones that can damage the kidney's delicate filtration system. Here are evidence-based strategies to protect your kidney health. Stop treating sleep like it's optional. Establish a consistent sleep schedule by going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, even on weekends. This helps regulate the hormonal systems that control kidney function. Create an optimal sleep environment, cool, dark, and quiet. Blue light from screens disrupts the production of melatonin, a sleep hormone, so create a digital sunset at least 1 hour before bedtime. Manage evening fluid intake strategically. Drink enough water throughout the day to support kidney function, but taper off 2 to 3 hours before bed to avoid sleep-disrupting bathroom trips. Track your sleep quality, not just quantity. Many people think they're getting enough sleep, but wake up feeling tired due to poor sleep quality. Pay attention to warning signs like difficulty falling asleep, frequent night wakings, or feeling unrefreshed in the morning. If poor sleep harms your kidneys, imagine what the drinks people use to stay awake are doing to them. Curious about the science behind it all? We've linked the studies that support everything we've shared. You'll find them down in the description box. 6. Sweet drinks consumption. A morning energy drink to survive the commute, a bubble tea run by evening, or a Coke with dinner. It's not hydration anymore. It's basically IV dripping sugar straight into your bloodstream every single day. And all that sweetness is systematically destroying kidney function, one sip at a time. The damage begins at a specific threshold that most people cross without realizing it. When blood sugar levels spike above normal ranges, the kidneys work overtime to remove the excess sugar by filtering it into the urine. This might seem like the body's smart safety mechanism, but it's actually the starting point of kidney destruction. For people with frequent blood sugar spikes, especially those with diabetes, the sugar content doesn't just pass through harmlessly. It triggers inflammation and damages the tiny blood vessels that make up the kidney's filtration system. A 2014 study published in Nephrology Dialysis Transplantation reviewed 17 studies and found that regular consumption of sugar-sweetened sodas increased the risk of CKD by 58%. Even more shocking, artificially sweetened sodas still increased CKD risk by 33%. It's like choosing between getting punched in the face or getting slapped really hard. Either way, your kidneys are getting beaten up. But wait, there's more your favorite drink company forgot to mention. The phosphoric acid in colas or iced teas adds another layer of destruction by altering urine chemistry in ways that promote kidney stone formation. These aren't just painful episodes. Kidney stones increase the likelihood of developing CKD down the road. A 2023 study published in Frontiers in Nutrition followed over 28,000 adults for 11 years. They found that people getting 25% or more of their daily calories from added sugars had an 88% higher risk of developing kidney stones compared to those with lower sugar intake. Current recommendations range from 25 to 50 grams of added sugar daily, but most health organizations agree that lower is better. Here's what's really messed up about the hidden sugar trap. That healthy green smoothie, often sold in 16 to 20-ounce bottles, can contain over 40 grams of sugar. The kombucha you're sipping for gut health? Some brands pack in 16 grams per 12-ounce bottle. Energy drinks can contain up to 39 grams in a single 16-ounce can. It's entirely possible to consume dangerous amounts of sugar while thinking you're making healthy choices. The cascade effect amplifies the damage. High sugar intake raises blood pressure, forcing kidneys to work under constant stress. It promotes obesity and increases diabetes risk, both major contributors to kidney disease. Plus, sugar addiction can rewire taste preferences. The more sugar you consume, the more you need to achieve the same satisfaction level. This creates a vicious cycle where your kidneys are basically drowning in sweetness. Here's how to break the cycle and protect kidney function. Start by tracking your actual sugar intake for 1 week. Read labels carefully because the sugar trap is everywhere and it's designed to be invisible. Sugar hides under names like high fructose corn syrup, agave nectar, cane juice, and dozens of other aliases. Keep an eye out for the 70 different names sugar can hide under when you scan food labels. Don't worry if you missed capturing them all. There's a handy printable list of these names available in the description box for you. Implement gradual reduction rather than going cold turkey. Cut your usual sweet drink portion in half and dilute with water or unsweetened alternatives. Replace 1 sugary drink per day with water, unsweetened tea, or sparkling water with a splash of fresh fruit juice. This gradual approach helps prevent the withdrawal effects that can last several weeks: headaches, fatigue, and intense cravings. Here's the encouraging part. After those initial withdrawal weeks, taste buds actually recalibrate. Your old favorite drinks will taste like drinking candy syrup. What once tasted normal now triggers a too sweet response. It's like your body starts protecting you from sugar overload. For those who can't imagine giving up sweetness entirely, focus on timing and type. Choose whole fruits over fruit juices. Drink sweet beverages with meals rather than alone to slow sugar absorption. And prioritize drinks with some nutritional value over empty calorie options. Monitor warning signs that suggest your kidneys are already struggling with sugar overload: persistent fatigue, frequent urination, unusual thirst, or morning puffiness around the eyes. These early signals indicate that reducing sugar intake isn't just preventive, it's corrective. Conclusion: these 6 habits are already putting your kidneys at serious risk, but we're just getting started. In Part 2, we'll expose 7 more kidney destroyers that are hiding in plain sight, including over-the-counter medications you probably have in your medicine cabinet right now that could be slowly destroying your kidneys. Plus, we'll reveal something you do multiple times every day that could lead to kidney failure and give you a complete action plan to protect your kidneys for life. Hit the bell icon and turn on all notifications so you don't miss Part 2. We want to thank you for being here, for listening, for having the courage to embark on this journey of discovering what truly benefits your health. A journey that isn't easy, but is worth more than anything else. The sooner you spot kidney issues, the more you can do to keep things under control. If you're unsure about your kidney health and haven't been in a good shape recently, check out the video on the screen. Here, we cover all the possible symptoms, helping you spot kidney failure and take action effectively if needed. See you there, stay informed, stay healthy,